Hi. I was trying to figure out where the lens was, so I put my eyes in the right direction. Okay, so I'm arranging some dishes here as a prop. So I can set this thing on here and hopefully, okay. So, excuse me, I'm cooking a hamburger. But anyway, Erica asked me to make this video regarding a dispute. I call it a dispute, or it was really an argument. By the way, just to clarify, when we got married, I was a lot different. And my name back then was Richard. Originally, after being together for the first 12 years or so, I began dressing up and identifying more with my female side. And she found this to be quite disheartening. And to be honest, who could blame her? I mean, if she had wanted to grow a beard and wear a tie and take testosterone and build up muscles and maybe go bald or something, I don't think I would have been really attracted to that. I probably would have left too. So anyway, I mean, there were some other factors involved, but I think that was the primary one. Anyway, after she left, I went to sex reassignment surgery. I don't think I would have gone through the surgery if she'd stayed with me. Because we still had, we were intimate to a small degree, but she became disenchanted, I guess would be the best word. She isn't a lesbian, and when I presented an appearance like you see now, while genetically, perhaps I could also constantly hear this argument on the radio, TV, like how many sexes are there? Well, there's two, male and female. There's also two genders, male and female, but I think that there are a multiplicity of ways that you can express your gender. You can't really change your sex per se. I mean, I have a vagina now, but I'm still genetically male, and I will be until I die. Science may one day accomplish what is seemingly impossible, and be able to rearrange your chromosomes and convert you to the female version of yourself, but they haven't done so yet. Anyway, well, my George Foreman, which is the hamburger cooking device underneath me, named after the heavyweight boxer of the same name. By the way, you guys just got to see my tennis shoes. Let's see, how do I? Hopefully you can see them. And they, I can also, I can change colors on them. And then I can also make them flash like that, see? So, they're really cool. Anyway, I hope you can see them. So, she gave, well, folks, the klutz strikes again. Jesus. I could just see our roommate Doug having a conniption watching me drop the phone. She wanted, this argument we had this morning, she wanted me to give my version of it. And so I will. And then she gave her version of it, and now I'm going. Now I'm going to tell you what actually happened. It's not that she didn't tell the truth in her version. She just left out some of the important details. But here's how it went down. We were at breakfast, and Doug and Erica were having a dialogue of some sort back and forth, and I was just eating. And suddenly Erica said, "Are you okay?" And I didn't respond because I thought she was asking Doug that question, because they were the one talking to one another. She claims she reached out to me or did something like that, but what I maintain is if she wanted to get my attention, she should have said, "Tess, are you okay?" But she didn't do that. She just said, "You are okay." So I didn't know that she was. Apparently, I had my I have a removable prosthesis in my mouth, and it comes loose periodically when I'm eating, and so she was worried I was going to maybe. It came loose, and she was worried it was going to choke me or something like that. But I, having practiced dentistry for 30 years, I know how to handle those kinds of things. But anyway, so she said, "Are you okay?" And I didn't respond, and then she turned toward me with a slight change of tone. It was kind of subtle, but she says, I guess I'll take that as a yes. And then I thought to myself, is she talking to me? And I said to her, "Are you talking to me?" And then she got upset and angry because she felt that I didn't respond to her question. And the truth is, no, I didn't, because I didn't know she was talking to me. I thought she was talking to Doug. And she went on to express her feelings about being ignored, and she's a woman, and she's always being gaslighted, which I guess means ignored. And it's true. There are numerous occasions where when I'm preoccupied with a task, whatever it might be, if Erica comes and if Erica says something to me, I don't always respond because I just don't hear her. I tune people out, or I zone out. I tune the world out, especially if it's something that requires any degree of expertise. I might hear their voices somewhere subtly in the background, but our brains, if you didn't know, filter out a great deal of extraneous information. Otherwise, if you took in the totality of your reality, including all of the little details and everything that's going on around you, you'd go crazy because there's too much information. So we learn to pay attention only to what unconsciously we think that what matters. So it's a sore point for her, and I've tried my very best to express to her that if I don't respond, it's not by intention. I wouldn't do that. I'm not like that. I don't respond because it doesn't register in my mind. She claims it's because I grew up with a badgering mother and I learned to ignore women. Maybe that's true, but it's very hard to, at my age, I'm 75, at my age to alter a lifetime of behavior. I'm willing to try, but in any event, I said to her, "Erica, I was talking with Doug about this the other day, and I'm working on it." And Doug said to Erica, "If you want Tess's attention, you should say, 'Tess, are you okay?' That way she knows you're talking to her." And Doug and Erica continued to argue that that shouldn't be necessary, and Doug got upset and said, you know, Erica, you're just being an asshole, and got up and left the table. And I finished my breakfast and got up and left as well, because she was upset and angry, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to continue to argue a point when I knew it was an argument I wasn't going to win, because her perception of the events and my perception of the events are different. I, of course, think I'm right, and she thinks she's right. And one piece of advice that I can give someone if you're newly in a relationship is that there are periods of time in a relationship when you have to give up being right, even when you know you are, for the sake of keeping the peace. And sometimes it's more important to surrender your will, so to speak, in order to sidestep an argument that you're not going to win. We all want to be right, and not only we want to be right, but we want the other person to understand that not only am I right, but you're wrong. Just to get the knife in there and twist it a little bit. I just don't want to win, but I want to, I want to crush my opponent, so to speak, so that they understand that, from my perception, generally speaking, I almost always think I'm right. Not always, although I'm willing to admit when I've been wrong. But I also know that Doug suggested that I try to be more aware of what's going on in the world around me, and to be more aware of my surroundings. And he's right. He's an Asperger, highly super intelligent person, and he notices everything. Everything. If I ever lost something, I ask Doug, because he's always the one who's not only seen it, but knows where it is. I don't know how he manages to do that, but 96% lean, eh? Possibly red lean. Well, maybe that's how extra lean is. God only knows. I've heard these rumors. Well, I'm not even going to get into that. But anyway, so she came to me later and in an attempt to talk it through and try to come to some sort of a peaceful agreement, and I guess pretty much we did that. But truth be told, I still think I'm right, and she still thinks she's right. And sometimes in relationships, you just have to leave it at that. Agree to disagree, and don't try if you can not to let it upset you. However, it's very difficult when it's with a loved one not to be upset when you're the object of their anger. And we tend to treat the people closest to us sometimes the worst, because Erica sometimes says, when I used to work, everybody loved me, and my argument is, yes, but they weren't living with you. And at work, we're all on our best behavior. We have to be, because if we were to behave badly, we'd probably get fired, unless you're the owner. But All I can tell you is that relationships are difficult. Life is difficult. And relationships are one of the more difficult aspects of life. They're very rewarding in one regard, but Erica in my relationship is especially strained because of the compromise in sexuality. And I had hoped when we got back together, perhaps even anticipated that we would have some form of intimacy, even if it weren't sexual per se, although, there are women who are sexual. At least, we could sleep together or cuddle or kiss and all that. But I was to find out that that's not her persuasion. She is not attracted to things feminine. I'm bisexual, I guess you might say. I like both men and women. Actually, for different reasons. I like women for companionship and for company. I would rather wake up with a woman, but I guess at this point perhaps rather have sex with a man, because I have breasts and a vagina now, and I have that element of my consciousness that wants to be wanted by a male force. I can't exactly explain it. But part of being transgender is wanting to be seen, to be noticed, and acknowledged as being feminine, and garnering a man's attention or having sexual relationships with a man is sort of the crowning confirmation of my internal need to be recognized as female. And these George Foremans cook pretty they cook pretty fast. Anyway, this certainly isn't a lifestyle I would recommend or wish upon anyone, because there's just so many difficulties to overcome, and it created a great deal of feelings of reward on one level for me, but it also created a lot of heartache. And on balance, I don't really know if it's better. I do know that the percentage of suicides for post-op transsexuals is around 40% or something like that. In other words, they definitely feel like a square peg in a round hole. I've never been suicidal. I've had suicidal ideation at times where, I think we all have, where you say to yourself, oh God, I wish I was dead because of some kind of stressful, occurrence in your life. And I certainly had my fair share, and becoming a woman didn't lower, it raised the stress. It certainly shot a torpedo on my dental practice. I think I didn't lose all my patients. Most of them stayed, but I'd say 15 to 20% probably just didn't feel comfortable with it after having, Richard as their dentist for so many years. Just suddenly see that Richard had become Tess. So, I hope this is about right for this burger. It's a crapshoot. Anyway, so I'm going to take this in. God, I hope I don't drop this thing again. Oh, I gotta get it. I don't know where. I don't know where this thing cut out. Hopefully, just a moment ago. But I was just finishing up my burger down there somewhere. Yeah, with my George Foreman, and I went through my dialogue about the argument this morning and how I see it. I think that my explanation is more thorough and gets to the heart of the dispute. I simply think that while I at times do ignore Erica, not on purpose, but because sometimes when she says something it doesn't register with me. Usually it's because I'm doing something else. But if she would simply say, you know, hey, dumb shit, I need your attention, or go and tap me on the shoulder, or just do something, that would solve the problem. But what happens instead usually is her feelings get hurt. She gets upset. And, you know, the last thing that I want is an angry Erica. I want her to be peaceful and happy. And, you know, so I would never deliberately ignore her, because I know that pisses her off. And I do it at times, not out of intent, but out of the way I'm put together. And I'm going to try and see if I can be more responsive to her. But, you know, it's difficult to alter unconscious habits that you don't even realize you're doing. So, it's all part of being human. Anyway, this is Seth, over and out.
What's little kitty doing? What's little kitty doing? Jumping everywhere. Happy lovely day. OOTD, I'm wearing gray and yellow. Gray and yellow. Yes. It's odd, I have to say. It's the only thing that makes it work is this necklace, this choker, which is fabric. Yes, gray and yellow. A little bit of lavender pop on the nails and eyes, but mostly gray and yellow. What do you think, Bean? So, how are you guys today? How are you? You know, I was thinking, everything in life is a balance. Like, your whole body's a balancing system. And your life, our lives are balanced, you know? It's like, eat enough, rest enough, sleep enough, then we're balanced and we function. And just like with where we look, if we're too lackadaisical about it, we're overweight, we're slovenly, we're filthy, we don't take a bath, our hair is in rasta braids, you know, it's not groomed, and that's not right either. So it's like too much vanity, where you just like obsess over every little jewelry, you know, like hours of shopping and pruning and preening and, you know, over like a whole lot. I mean, it's one thing if you are a model and that's your job, or a dancer, let's say, you have to have every hair in place. Or you don't get the part, or you don't get to dance, or whatever, you know, it's like that. But it's another thing when you're so vain that, you know, it's like, you've got the phone going, and the other people are talking and having fun, and you're just, me, myself, and I. Is that what's happening here? No. Because I'm not just going back and looking at my own footage. I put it out there and I share it with the world. There's a difference, right? There's a difference. There's one little kitty. Hi, kitty. Yeah, tasty. Let's turn the lights on. That looks nice. Oh, you think we're playing? Oh, dear God. Oh, he's on a roll. He's on a roll this morning. Yeah, he's very cute. He's very cute. So I've taught him if he jumps up here, he can get a treat. So what's new? What's new? A spoon for the stir. So, yeah, I'm working today. I did a lot of prayer and grooming to get my hair. Oh, he goes up here. See, if he goes up here, what do you get? Yeah, I know. That's how it works. He goes up there. But I don't want Happy to hear, being able to hear because he doesn't. Not right now, because he needs a lot more. These are little nothings. So. Okay. Trick. I put him up there because if I put him down on the ground, Bean gets a little bit aggressive. So. Maybe in the dating side, I got the cart before the horse because I'm kind of saying, I want to make movies with that. That's like a guy going, I want to make babies and have, instead of saying, let's get to know each other and see if we like each other, then let's see if we want to have babies. I'm like, I want a guy that, but some guys are like, I want to have children. I want to have a family. I'm looking for the right girl. I mean, they're just that point blank. And then the girls that are like, I got a career. I'm really not into that. They know, no, not into that. So, if a guy just wants to travel and go around and, go to Europe and stuff, I don't mind, like, every once in a while, but that's not my life. I want to do creative things. I listened to this thing. It said, God is real uplifting. It go against the enemy, and that it was like, the devil, and it will win, and not to be afraid, and he will protect you, and he will strengthen you, and he will fortify you, and he will lead you, and he will guide you. And it was like, yeah, I'm feeling that. He will guide you, he will lead you, he will protect you. It's like, and we were all taught that evil isn't real. There is no devil. There's no demonic force. Just your own conscience, right and wrong. But actually, there is. There is. I heard on the, through all the truthers. It's heating up. It's coming up. Money's going to come back to us. Lots of money. And for that, I'll be so grateful. I want to get the money back to the people that were extorted. We weren't supposed to be taxed like we are, heavily taxed on everything. All that money goes out to the other interdimensional planets. I know it sounds crazy. So I got my lemonade. I got my taste it. Lemonade tea, and my cocoa. Yes. It's really hard when I look in the mirror and I see these wrinkles. And it's challenging. I was just telling Douglas that, I was thinking, when I was young, 20 years ago. Yeah. I worked, I did this, I was like, everything was, it was hard. Overcast here. It's getting nighttime. We got some food over there. Douglas is going to come in and eat. Maybe Tess will too. Well, if you don't believe that, that's okay. I just heard Jason Shurka, and he was talking about how there were like 80 people in Washington that were in a hotel, and there's like 700 other places all over the world, and there's a war is going on. And these guys are connected to the highest up of the highest up. So, you can sit there and say there is disinformation out there that's it's the conspiracy therapy, and that's the enemy. That's the underground enemy that's undermining humanity, and you have to decide who you want to listen to. You can listen to them if you want to, but I don't know. They don't believe in, God. They're godless, and they believe in the government and being in control of us and taking away our rights. And, we're mind controlled to just keep anything that contradicts their narrative. We attack it. We doubt it. We're programmed to do that. So, love you. Bye.
Upbeat, joyful, playful, party, celebrate, dreamland, DeeBoo. We love you. Chill. Life is good. Life is good. If anybody hasn't told you they love you today, we love you because we do.